Good morning. It is 10 past 5, I'm walking to the station. And I have come to a revelation, or a realization, I think that's the right word, about human suffering. So oh my god, fox. So like a week ago, last week, I went through a serious period of suffering. I'm still kind of recovering from it, very slowly, and it's not helping that I have to wake up and not get any sunlight tonight, or today, sorry. But regardless, okay, I'm reading the book Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor E. Frankl, I think that's his name. He's a doctor, and he literally survived the Nazi concentration camp. He talks about his experience of it and the psychology of being like a prisoner who has like what is the will to live, basically. And it's just such a good book. I'm already like halfway through and I just started it yesterday. And before reading this book, I saw a piece of content by a friend, and he basically said that when you are suffering, that's kind of all you feel. And in the book, he says that suffering is like a gas, and it will fill up a room evenly, and it will fill the whole room. And the gas is basically suffering, and the room is your soul. So when you're suffering, no matter how little or how big, it's going to fill up your soul completely, and that's all you can really feel and be present with is the suffering that you're going through. So when I'm at work, I'm miserable, and if it makes me miserable outside of work, that's all I can feel and that's all I can bear, and I kind of forget about the other good parts of life. So I don't know, it just kind of highlights like no matter what you're struggling with, all suffering is kind of equal. Like there is no objective way to measure suffering. With this new knowledge in mind, it's like, okay, someone starving and sleeping on the streets is suffering, but that's not to say that the businessman who is lonely and, I don't know, just went through a divorce and lost his family, they're both suffering. They're both human, they're both going to suffer, and they're both going to feel the same amount of pain. Even if you could say that objectively someone's situation is worse. Oh, at least the businessman has a house, at least he's got money. But if he's got a meaningless job that means nothing to him now, and he doesn't have a family, then what the fuck is it all for? He would probably feel better sleeping on the streets, to be honest. And so when we take the objective, or subjective rather, and we try to make it objective, it just doesn't work sometimes, because you can't measure suffering with a number. You can't measure it in any way. It's only felt. It's an emotion. You can't really measure your emotions, except for mild and just extreme. You can feel extreme anger over something, or you can feel a little bit annoyed by it. I think it's also helped me a little bit, like my friend's content. He said that it will pass, it's not going to be forever. I think when you're consumed by it, you feel like it's going to last forever. Like if, for example, with this job, I'm only going to stay for another 4 months maybe before I go back to Thailand, and right now it feels like I'm completely suffering when I'm in that job. If I let that consume me, then I'm just going to be miserable for the next 4 months. But it's only temporary, right? It is only 4 months. And not only that, but within the day, it is temporary, But yeah, okay, I'm at the station now, so I'll talk to you later, and I hope that any of this kind of made sense. Whatever you're going through, it's temporary, and obviously we have the bias of feeling all the suffering at once, so it probably feels worse than it actually is. But once you get to step away from it and you don't feel that anymore, it gets better, okay? So yeah, peace.